Exactly 1 week ago today, I realized I was having trouble with the TH sound. And now that I'm using the Magnum Steno Theory, I'm supposed to use asterisk T for the TH sound. Now, the TH sound is found in words such as south, bath, faith, panther, earth. You get the idea. So the first day, I went back to my theory book, and where that concept is presented, I studied that page. It was just a page. I studied that page as if it was the first time I was introduced to it, and I also drilled every word on that page. There's about 40 words on that page, and I studied and drilled for about 45 minutes. Day 2, I made 40 sentences with those words. Not only the words from the theory book, but I also used Mark Kislingberry's textbook, Write Short, Write Fast, and I skimmed the chapter where asterisk T is presented for the TH sound and chose words that I felt were high frequency for me or words that I should be drilling also. And I made sentences or fragments with those words. I came up with about 40 short sentences, and I could give you an example. The youth is wealth, the South is fourth. And I came up with about 40 sentences, like I said, and I drilled those sentences. I just went up and down the list, up and down the list, up and down the list until I was satisfied. Now, to kick it up a notch, I went on random.org. I used the list generator and I copied and pasted the complete list of sentences that I had. I copied and pasted it about 4 or 5 times. I came up with 200 or more sentences. Now, my goal was to write those sentences from the screen as clean and as accurately as possible. Speed was not a goal whatsoever. So once I was done writing all those sentences from the list, I started from the top of where I started and I started to read back. I read back every stroke. I read it out loud, and any word that I misstroked, I wrote down in my notebook. If I misstroked it more than once, I would add a tally to it. Another thing I did was any word that I had to correct, meaning I wrote it wrong, used the asterisk, and then wrote it properly, I added that word to my notebook also. And the reason is speed was not an issue whatsoever. All I had to do was write the word properly. And since I failed at doing that, there was an obvious weakness. Therefore, it needed to go on that list. Once I was done, I had a new list, a concentrated hesitation list, and I drilled those words. The next thing I did, and I drilled those words for about 30 minutes. When I was drilling the words, I needed to make sure that I was, first of all, writing them properly and that I was stroking with the proper rhythm. Like, I needed to be a nice, clean, easy stroke. And there were 20 words on that list, and it took me about 30 minutes to get it to the point where I was satisfied. The next thing I did was I made new sentences, new short sentences with words on that list. And as a side note, there were words on that list that were not even part of the TH family. They were just words that I had used to build the sentences that caused me to hesitate. So with that new word list, that new concentrated hesitation list, I made more short sentences and practiced those. Now, on day 3, I reviewed the words from day 1 and from day 2, and I also went back to my theory book and reviewed the chapter. Once I was satisfied with that, I copied and pasted the compounded list, the 2 lists of sentences into random.org and generated a list of 200 or so sentences. And I had the same goal, which was to write clean, accurate notes. This time I did not read back, but what I did was anytime I made an error, I rewrote the sentence and drilled the word if I felt there was a need to do that. On day 4, I only reviewed the words on the list from the theory book and my hesitation list. It didn't even take 5 minutes. And also throughout the day, I would go down the list whenever I felt like it, or in between dictation, or hey, I don't know what to do right now. Let me just go down this list. And I noticed that in dictation, I was using the asterisk T for the TH sound. And it was coming naturally, and it was really, really exciting. And now we're on day 7, and I've gone back to my theory book. I also reviewed the sentences, and I took a 225 Q&A, and I used the asterisk T for the TH sound without any hesitation. It came naturally. And it was very, very exciting. It was second nature. And the purpose of this is to show, or not necessarily to show, but the purpose of this is that for the entire week when I was working on this concept, speed was never an issue. Speed was never my focus. But now that I have mastered the concept, I don't hesitate. I've eliminated hesitation with that sound. And at 225, I'm able to stroke it accurately. And that's just very, very exciting. So I hope that this helps anyone out there looking for a method to practice concepts in theory that might be causing them trouble, which is getting in the way of them providing real time or passing tests. Thank you. And if you have any questions or concerns, comments, feel free to comment and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.